Here at Wiltshire Music Centre, we're delighted to welcome Riot Ensemble for their WMC debut on Saturday the 12th of March as a part of our Spring-Summer 2022 season. Riot Ensemble are a contemporary classical chamber ensemble based in London, and they will be performing a wealth of new music. Join us in the room for a unique experience in the first half where you can enjoy a live programme note, an intimate look at the music and the musicians behind this fantastic programme. You can also join us to live stream the second half of this performance, which will be given in the Auditorium. Now, we're delighted to welcome Katie Hamilton to talk a little bit about one of these new pieces in this programme, Gabriella Smith's Anthozoa. And Gabriella Smith is a fascinating composer with a really relevant story behind this work.
Yeah, so Gabriella Smith is quite a young composer working in the US, and she describes herself on her website as a composer and environmentalist. So most of her compositions have some kind of strong connection with the natural world through the titles and through trying to conjure the sense of being in very particular places that she has found particularly kind of evocative and emotionally important. There are big orchestral works that depict seabirds wheeling over the waves in certain parts of the States. And this piece, Anthozoa, is about coral life in French Polynesia. So although it's for a very small chamber ensemble, strings, piano, percussion, the instruments are being used in rather unusual ways to try and depict the sorts of sounds that you would hear if you were actually standing on the spot and looking out at that bit of the sea.
How important do you feel it is for composers to reflect the world around them in their music?
Well, I think they kind of always do. Partly they can't help it because they're all products of their own time. But I suppose the sort of world that they end up showing us depends on the piece. It might be about people that they know that they're writing for. Perhaps it's for a particular venue or a particular person's commissioned it. It might be more generally about a part of the world that they care about very much, where they go on holiday, or a view that strikes them as interesting, bird song, all sorts of things that can inspire composers. Certainly at the moment, there's been a real move in the last 20 or 30 years for composers to look to the current environmental crisis and try and use new compositions and works in other media as well to highlight what's going on. In the case of Gabriella Smith, by showing her something that she considers to be very beautiful and thinking about what it might mean to lose that.
So focusing in on that a little bit then, so why is this a good moment for Riot Ensemble to really focus in on this in a programme so influenced by the climate crisis and environmental issues more generally?
Well, I mean, Riot Ensemble are pretty ideally placed to put together a programme of this kind. They work a great deal with contemporary composers. As you say, we're going to hear from a lot of different composers over the course of this programme, but within the environment as a central theme. And also because they're a flexible ensemble, they've got a group of players that they can adjust from piece to piece, which means that if you have got a relatively unusual setup like Anthozoa that has not a standard ensemble and also has quite a lot of percussion within it, you can straightforwardly programme that alongside lots of other things to give you a kind of 360 degrees idea of what composers are interested, what they're up to at this moment in time, and clearly how passionately they feel about wanting to do something to prevent serious negative climate change.
It promises to be a fascinating and incredibly moving performance, which we're really excited to host here at Wiltshire Music Centre on Saturday the 12th of March, and you can join us online or in the room for this one.